In this video, I explain how to set up and test a peak flow meter for use with our mobile app. This peak flow meter happens to be made by a company called Cipla, which is based in India. And on this table, I happen to have 4 peak flow meters that we are preparing to be shipped out for a new study we're doing with a partner clinic. This peak flow meter happens to have a blue mouthpiece, which I replaced the missing white one, so you can disregard that. It has no effect on the operation. These peak flow meters they come in this sturdy plastic case, and in the store, they're packaged in this box. So these are fairly standard, off-the-shelf peak flow meters, with the exception of the sticker. I designed this sticker because it allows our mobile app to be able to track the location and position of the peak flow meter, as well as the position of this red pointer. So this red pointer tells you the flow, the peak flow meter reading, and that sticker enables the software to automatically capture that reading. One thing I'll mention about the scale that you will notice is that the scale of a peak flow meter is nonlinear. So the readings are closer together at the high range than they are down below. And you will also notice that the scale itself is a sticker. And the position of that sticker does have some variation from unit to unit. So here, like for example, the sticker is more to the left, and here, like on this one, it's more to the right. I don't know if these stickers are placed by hand or by machine, but I did reach out to the manufacturer a couple years ago, and they claim that the placement of the sticker is adjusted depending on the strength of the spring of the individual device. But whether or not you believe that, the main point is that peak flow meters in general, regardless of the manufacturer, they are not very precise devices. So because of the nonlinear scale and the placement of the sticker, the readings are fairly coarse. But that is okay. For diagnosis, we just need a coarse reading of the peak flow, and that's sufficient for our mobile app. So for testing, the most important thing when you're preparing and setting up a peak flow meter is the placement of the sticker. So you will see here that the left edge of the sticker needs to be placed so that it aligns with the first line, which happens to be 60 on this peak flow meter. So that line should be aligned with the left edge of that black rectangle. And the vertical placement of the sticker should be such that the bottom edge of the sticker should be just above the edge of the slot that's cut into the peak flow meter. So if you follow those guidelines and make sure that the sticker is not skewed, make sure that it's straight and it's aligned with the edge of the slot, you will get good results on the mobile app. And as a rule of thumb, I generally like to use certain guidelines for the mobile app reading, and in the high end of the range, as long as I'm within 50 or so, that's acceptable. And then down at the lower end of the scale, as long as I'm within 15 or so of the reading, that's good. So you can use those guidelines or those rule of thumbs as your acceptance criteria when you're testing the peak flow meter with the app. You will also notice that I set the pointer, the red pointer, at different locations. So see, the red pointer is movable. So I'm setting this one to, let's say, 300. Then I could set this one to 400, and this one set to 250, and this one set to 350. So that allows us to test the mobile app with different readings. So I will now take my mobile app and I will start it up. You will notice that the mobile app has an LED which turns on, and that enables operation in low light conditions. And when you're testing with the mobile app, you want to make sure that you do not hold the phone too close to the peak flow meter. So you want to start with the phone a little bit further away from the peak flow meter so that the peak flow meter, you see the entire peak flow meter in the field of view. Then you slowly bring it closer to the peak flow meter. And you also want to make sure that it's focused. So on most Android phones, if you tap on the screen, that will activate the focus of the camera. So if everything is in focus, you will get tracking enabled on the mobile app, and you will see a faint green outline around the sticker. So you can see as I move the phone around, it's tracking the position of the red pointer as well as the sticker. And below the sticker, you will see a fine green line, and then you will see below that a thick green line. The most important here is that fine green line. The fine green line should go through the red pointer. If it doesn't go through the red pointer, it will not be able to detect it. And that fine green line should be going through the middle of the slot. So you want to make sure that you test for that and check for that. The thick green line that's below that, that's just an indicator for the patient or for the doctor. In this case, it's solid green, but depending on what information you type in, you will see other readings, other segments of the line. There'll be red, yellow, and green segments of that line, which indicate the range for that specific patient. But you can ignore that. The main thing that you need to watch out for here is the fine green line, to make sure that that's properly aligned. So now if you look at the reading, so as you see, I set this one to 300 and it's giving me a reading of 292, which is good enough. It's within 10. And now we're going to test the other ones. This next one's set to 400. So again, I'm going to bring it in and update the reading. 374. That's 375. That's reasonable. 376. And next one set to 250. It's giving me a reading of 232 or so. And the last one, which is set to 350, it's giving me a reading of 320, 328, 331, 332. So these are all within range. And again, when I move these red pointers, I did not set them exactly to the readings, but as you can see, within the precision allowed by the sticker and by the movement of the phone, of how I move the phone camera, the range is pretty good. So these are all within 15 or 20 of the 15 or 20 units of the position of the red pointer. So I consider that an acceptable test, and that's basically all the steps you need to follow to test your peak flow meter and make sure that they're ready for shipping. Thank you.